Yo, what is up? Got a great topic today. Really excited. It's kind of an interesting one, kind of was for me at least, kind of going back and thinking like, man, what were the things that I wish I knew before I was 21? There's a lot because I needed all the help I could get. But excited to have you guys here. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Michael, and on this channel, I really just like to share like my business journey, really documenting the things, sharing some ideas, like thoughts that could help someone else. So yeah, I'm excited about this videos. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications so you could just be aware when new videos come out. I post like every single week, but yeah. So, the outline of this video, like the title says, is things that I wish I knew before I was 21. And what I kind of have here is just a list of things like to go through, and then I'll just kind of go off the topic, or off the top of my brain, and kind of talk about the context that of where that's coming from for me, like maybe the mistake that I learned from that, why I wish I knew that, or something like that. I was gonna like type it, but I feel like it's better. This was just better, more fitting for in the moment. So I'll kind of just read them through. We'll go through them, and then I'll just give context to it. So the first one that I thought that I wish I would have known before I was 21 was, it seems so obvious, and you're gonna be like, okay, that is so. But again, like, sometimes you just don't know. You don't know, And it's just to treat people nicely, knowing that, like, karma is real, and you shouldn't do things to try to get something back. But know that, like, unfortunately, when you do bad things, sometimes they come back to you. But knowing that karma is real, how you treat people makes it really hard to change when you eventually are growing out of that phase. Okay, I'll give context. People remember how you treated them and made them feel. So it is hard for them to accept in that you have changed. Okay, so treat people nicely. This seems, it's really basic in all honesty. For some reason, I just had this like chip on my shoulder of anger when I was a kid in high school, and just growing up before 21, and I would not treat everybody nicely. Some people I just chose to treat with a different sense of attitude, and I'm not proud of that, but I'm just being honest within this. And people like when I said it's hard to make people change, is like, then when you start to change, like I'm a mean kid in high school, and I probably hadn't built my fair share of people who disliked me. And when I started to change, and I realized, like, man, that's not how I want to be known. That's not how I want people to view me. Like, I want to change. It was really, really hard for those people, because this was years later, outside of high school, outside of me being 21. When I started to get like to 23, 24, 25 is when I started to really like take inventory of myself and say, like, hey, man, it's like time to take a change. It was really hard to like win over certain people, or like, because the way that you make people feel, like, they just don't forget those things. So it's important to just to be nice to everybody. And that's like a good rule of thumb. I know we're taught that as little kids, but even so, people are still mean in their own ways that they don't think. But that karma is real. And also, like, you never know when you're gonna need someone, and I don't say that to like in a taking manner. I just say you never know when you're gonna need someone to want, like, have your back in any certain type of moment, and they're gonna want to be there for you because they remember the good things about you, the things that you've done for them, or things like that. Not that you were an asshole. So yeah, that was number one. Treat people nicely. So the second one is being the center of attention. Center of attention is overrated. So I used to always want to be the center of attention, and I would just do stupid shit to earn and garner that attention. You like definition straight of like a class clown. I was that guy, like, who just for some reason I don't know why, I just needed attention for validation from for whatever it was, but we don't need to get into that. But I just needed attention. I would do stupid shit to garner that attention, and sometimes the stupid shit would get me in trouble. It would get me injured, like it put me in shitty situations. But like the attention of other people, like, and getting a laugh out of them and stuff like that, I don't know why, but it meant so much to me. So being the center of attention is stupid, and it's overrated, and you don't need to be the center of attention, nor should you want to be. Like, just stay low key, just fly beneath the radar, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The next one was, things take time to happen. What comes quick goes quick. I feel like just naturally we're impatient people, and I was extremely impatient for the things that I wanted. But, I wish I knew, like what I know now is that good things take time to happen. And there was probably some things in my life that I could have put into motion that if I just would have been able to take like a longer perspective, like maybe with sports is one that comes to mind first. Like in high school football, I wasn't the best football player, but I had a good work ethic, and I was just willing to just do what it takes. But I didn't have a sense of time of like, hey, maybe I'm not the best right now, but you give it 2, 3, 4 years of just hard work, consistency, you don't know where you could be. Like, you hear of these crazy stories of people making it to the NFL. I'm not saying I would have made it to the NFL, but like maybe I could have played in college something, at a higher level. But I didn't give it that opportunity. So, I wish I had the understanding of things take time. Like, hey, I might not be where I need to be right now to get to where I want to go, but if I keep putting in the work, I could get there. And, just with other things too, I've quit like little ventures when I was younger, and, not even ventures, just, when you get involved with things, like just a headspace for life to take in for anything. Like, good things take time. If you have a big result that you're looking for in anything, like a big win, it's not going to happen quick. And like, to get off topic for a second, like when I started my I guess you could say my agency, or the marketing thing that I do with Johnny, I remember like being at the bank, and we were opening up our business accounts and everything, and the teller was like, well, how much do you guys project to make? And like we said this number, and like just so confident and so which was great. We had this undying belief in ourselves, but like naive, because like we didn't really know what it would take to get to that number, like because these people on the internet paint a picture for you. But no, that's good, but things take time to happen. So now that we've taken the time and we've put in the work, we're starting to see the benefits of what we really wanted to. So yeah, things I wish I knew that things take time to happen. What goes quick comes quick. And yeah. So next one, being different is what makes you you. This would have helped me with the attention thing, because I just would have been me. I wouldn't have need to, yeah. Being different is what makes you you. So what was I saying now with the attention? Being you is what makes you. Well, yeah, I would have just been okay with me being me. Like, I wouldn't have needed the attention and validation from other people, because I could have just been like, there would have been no need for that if I would have just been fine with like kind of being me, like accepting, okay, like why do I need the attention? Okay, I really don't. Like, I could just kind of chill. So being different is good. Something I always say now is like, when people zig, I tend to zag. When they zig, I zag. Being different, I think, is it's good, but it's difficult. Like when you're kind of going against the curve with everything like that. So obviously, like, know when you're absolutely wrong, and that you're just zigging because for prideful reasons, and you really should be zagging, like, because it's just an obvious, like, but you also have to know when like being different is just like truly the right decision for you. Like if what everyone else is doing is just the easy way, it's just the the not needing to think your way and stuff like that, just the easy way out, then yeah, going the opposite way is good. But being different is what makes you you. The next one is, I don't have it all figured out. Ignorance hurts us a lot when we are young. Be open-minded. You don't know shit. A lot of times your parents are actually right. So this was a really big one for me. I don't have it all figured out. Like, just being able to say those words had a lot of power for me, because I was one ignorant mofo. Like, just thought I knew everything about anything, and everyone else was wrong and I was right. Ignorance hurt me a lot, because I would make decisions, and like, I think I talk about this later on, but when you're making decisions, like sometimes not sometimes, all the time, your decisions have permanent actions. And when you think that you have it all figured out and you're not taking what anyone else says into reason, that will actually help you make a more sound decision. It ends up it ends up hurting you. And that's what would happen a lot to me, is I just thought I knew it all. and that really hurt me. And so I would advise, just be open-minded. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's just about just making the right decision. Like, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who it comes from. I read that in a book by Ray Dalio, and that was big. And a lot of times your parents are actually right. Like, as a kid growing up, man, I hated listening to my parents. But I was just prideful, so I would always do the opposite thing of what they said. And a lot of times your parents are actually right. So that's important to know. And they do have their best intentions for you, and they have been in a lot of times in the same shoes that you've been. You got to remember that they're older than you, and just because you think that they're not school and things are so different, like, history is pretty much repeats itself. They went through the same things, maybe just technology was different, but yeah. Always prioritize working out. That's one of them too. So I'm pretty consistent now with working out, but obviously this is before then. I would get into really bad mental ruts when I wouldn't work out. So this is a simple one, but just always prioritizing working out. Like, even if it's just for 20, 30 a day, running a mile, like doing the little things, like, it always pays dividends. Next thing is, it's not all about me. Learn to go with the flow of things. I feel like when I was a younger kid, and definitely in high school, and before 21, like, it had to be my way or the highway. I wasn't a go with the flow type of person when I would hang out in a group of people, and this probably made it a little difficult to want to be around, because even now, like, when I'm not that person, like, you identify the people that kind of are, and you're like, oh shit, should we hit them up? Like, because then they're not going to want to do this or this and this. And it's not that the people don't love you, but you just make it hard for yourself for people to want to be around you. So that was not a good thing. Just learn to go with the flow. And actually, that's really nice. Like, when you learn to just be present with your friends, and it doesn't matter with where you're going and what you're doing, you're just having a good time, like, that's good. And that's what it should be, because those relationships, unless you have some fake friends and stuff like that, but if you have good friends, good relationships, like, you can have fun doing anything. And I figured that out. Next thing is, be a reader. There was so much knowledge in books, and you learn a ton about yourself in books as well too. Knowledge gives you a different perspective on things, and a more mature perspective on things. I can't really say enough about how positive reading has impacted my life, like, really, really, really a lot. It first started, the first book I read was The Alchemist. That kind of set me on, like, a little bit of a journey when I was like a 22 or 23-year-old kid, just who was a bonehead, making a lot of mistakes, drinking and driving under tickets, and just going down on a downhill path. And for a lot of the reasons of the mistakes I'm sharing with you guys today, but it was just through reading, that it changed a lot of my perspective and really helped me mature. I learned a ton about myself, became more aware about the mistakes that I was consciously making and why I was making them, and how I needed to change and what needed to change. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying that, but I was able to grow a lot within myself, and it also helped me change my perspective. I wasn't a very thankful person, and I had a lot to be thankful for. It changed my perspective on how I wanted to actually live my life and things like that. So reading was huge, and that's why it's such a big part of who I am still today. I will always be a reader for life, and I advise anybody you should be a reader. And you can do it 15, 20, 30 minutes a day. It's great. You can download Audible, listen to the book, and read it at the same time. It might cost a little bit more money, but read it 2-3 times and really get the most out of each book that you actually could. So being a reader. The next one is think before action. The action decisions we make are permanent. Give yourself a moment to see the whole picture. Sometimes, this is when I was talking about not having it all figured out. When you think you know everything, and you take action, obviously you make bad actions, but thinking before taking action is huge. I'm just naturally, I try to be a quick decision maker and not dwell on things, but I think it's like finding this happy medium that we should strive for of actions and decisions. Like, don't don't take 2 days to make a decision that should have taken 20 minutes. But also, I think like don't just always make decisions really quickly, because decisions have big impacts. Like no matter like a bee, what is it, flying in Australia can start a tornado in Texas, you know? So what I'm trying to say by that is, even though it might be a little decision that you think that has little impact, it can start a big roller coaster of bigger things to happen. So it's important that we make decisions soundly. So all I'm saying is, before each decision that you make, is just take a glance to say, you know, a second breath, you know, and put yourself in the right frame of mind. What is this decision going to do? Why am I going to do it? And I just put yourself in a good frame of mind for that. So think before you take action. The next thing is 1% better every day is better than 10% one day of the week. Like it's better to read 10 minutes every single day than it is to read for 70 minutes just on Sunday. There's something that I learned from this guy named Dave Meltzer, that it's like the exponential factor. When you do something to the second power, it grows. To the third power, it goes, it multiplies, you know, and it'll keep multiplying by itself. That's what happens when you do things daily. Like you just start to get in that flow state. So, you know, you always try to cheat and take the easy way out and knock everything out in one day so you can coast the rest of the week. Like younger Mike, it's better just to do everything, you know, break it down into smaller chunks and do it every single day. 1% every single day is better than 10% one day of the week. The little things are important. The next one is just learning good money habits, learning to save money. I was really bad, and I'm getting better. You know, I'm a lot better now, but just implementing good money habits into my life at a younger age would have been a lot of help. It's just important. You got to master money. Like money's important in this life. We can't be ignorant to that, to say like, you know, pursue your passions and what you like. Money doesn't matter. Like I get that, and that's so cool. But like you also have to, even if you're going to live life on that term, you have to learn to master money, because if, you know, even if you're making less of it, like you got to learn how to be able to budget and save to be able to grow yourself in the right direction. So if that's something I wish I learned before I was 21, is just good money habits. Next thing is, being high all day is not cool, and it won't get you your best life results. That's because that's what I was doing at a lot of times before I was 21, was just smoking and getting high all day. And you know, you think it's cool, you're influenced by music, you're influenced by your friends, you're influenced by whatever culture. Like I was influenced by like skate culture, I guess, a lot, which kind of, that's what it, you know, sit around and smoke. But that shit's not cool, and it doesn't get you the best results out of life, and that's just a fact. It's like, no matter, some people are able to smoke, I guess, and have very progressive days. Like I just am not that person. So for me, it was realizing that it's like, yeah, this isn't that cool. I don't get that much done. I'm kind of a dumbass sometimes, and I space. And if I want to be like a high performing person, then I can't be sitting around and smoking weed all day. So being high all day is not that cool. If you want to smoke a little bit before you go to bed, like I do, then that's fine. And then the last one is, and then this should probably come with its own video one day. I'll talk about this, but it's just how to identify good friends. It's important when you're especially going through the ages of 18 to 21 and furthermore, you know, it's important to know how to find the good friends in your life, the ones who you really know, like, these are good people, they're going to be there for me, and yeah, it's important. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you got some value out of this, and just maybe if any of these things hit for you that you're like, man, yeah, I'm kind of dealing with that a little bit, I do need to change that. That's, you know, I'm happy that you're here. But appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.